In this video, we're going to explore how to create a little bit more interesting roof design if we are choosing not to have a low slope roof. There are definitely benefits to having low slope roofs, and the reason why we see a lot of those in our commercial designs for buildings. But for here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this roof and I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a look at how to create a roof by extrusion within this file. So, and this can also be done with some other different elements as well. I'm going to go ahead and move to the south elevation for this. So whenever you go to do a roof by extrusion, it's kind of like setting up a sketch plane and then drawing on it, and then a roof is added to that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the roof command, hit the drop down, and choose roof by extrusion. So, and then when I select that option, I need to pick a plane. So the plane, I can just go ahead and say, or I can pick a line and use it as the work plane that was sketching. I'm going to pick a plane and say OK. And right now, since I'm in a 2D view, if I'm in 3D, it's going to ask me to move to a 2D view. So that's why I moved to the south elevation. So I want to go through and see this like from the front of the building that I have kind of coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose the top part of this wall. And it says what level do I want it to align to, and if there's any offset, as well as the roof framing. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this as say OK. And now I can go through and start drawing in the type of wall. Now here, I'm going to go ahead and keep the insulation on metal deck type that I went through and made in the previous video, but I'm going to use an arc tool, and I'm going to go ahead and draw in just a little bit of a kind of curved design, and I want to make sure that I kind of overshoot, leave some overhang. And you do have to be careful with this. You don't want to create anything real kind of too crazy, because otherwise the extrusion will not happen. And then I can always go through and modify a little bit of it as well once I hit cancel a couple times and start to go through and kind of move some of these points here. The white dot will go through and obviously change the curvature. But let me go ahead and place this here. Now, this line is going to represent the top portion of the roof. So just like in the icon that showed up, you'll see that that is highlighted. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the green check mark. And here's what happens again. Now if I select and I say to edit the profile, you're going to see the top part of the roof is what gets brought back for us to edit. So there is our roof. Let me go to the 3D view. Here is the roof shape that I have. So you can kind of explore with some of that. And again, one of the things we may need to do, and then as you take a look at it from this view, is you may need to go through and bring this out so you can click on the roof and kind of extend out the areas that you need. Now you could go through and set some different temporary dimensions to control that. For right now, just for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to kind of pull that out on each side. Now, in order to get this to connect, this is kind of very similar to what we did with the affordable home. So I'm going to go ahead and select the wall. Now, I have a wall type in here that's already preloaded known as brick and CMU on metal stud 4. So I'm going to select this wall, which is the reason why we have this being options. Now you're going to notice that the soldier course is going to disappear, but the parapet is still there. So here's the only issue. So when I select the wall and I say attach top to base, and I select the roof, is the parapet is still going to stay at the level that it's going to be. And actually in this scenario, we probably don't want a parapet because we want it to go through and extend all the way up to the top. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this wall type. I'm going to say edit type. I'm going to duplicate. And this time I'm going to go ahead and make this brick on CMU and metal stud 5. I'll say OK. Edit the type. I do need to show the preview to get some of these options, and I do need to change it over to a section. And then I need to go ahead and look at the sweeps. So the sweeps, number 1, has the parapet cap, which I really don't want. So I'm going to go ahead anymore at least. So I'm going to go ahead and select the parapet cap, and I'm going to say delete, and then I'll be able to see, and when I hit apply, you're going to see that'll disappear in the section view. I'll go ahead and say OK, say OK, say OK one more time. Now, what you'll notice is your parapet cap disappears, and what I did in another step for the for the wall type was I did get rid of the soldier course that goes along there. So if you wanted to, you could always put that back in, but it is up to you. So I'm going to go ahead now and select these other walls, because I probably don't want to have the parapet cap there. And I'm going to go ahead and change that now to brick and CMU on metal stud 5. So now those brick walls will remove the parapet cap, and the soldier course on the top will also be somewhat removed as well. So now the only thing is on that you will get a soldier course that happens on this wall type. So it brings in the CMU, so because that was one there, so we may need to go through and make an adjustment. I'm going to put this back onto brick on metal stud 2. And in order to go through and do that is I'm going to select this wall. Again, maybe we want to delete the soldier course and the parapet cap. I'm going to edit the type. I'm going to duplicate. We're going to call this brick on metal stud 3. Edit the type with the section views and everything. The sweeps. Here is both the parapet cap and soldier course. I'm going to delete both of these. So then that way when I hit apply, I don't have that showing up in my wall. I'm going to go ahead and say OK a couple times. And now there's my wall brought back without all that extra. So now when I select the wall, click Attach Top to Base, and then I have to select the roof. There's that brought in. And I'm just going to continue to get the other walls around. So this will go through and create a little bit more interesting roof design than the low slope roof, but also it allows for a little bit more creativity. In the example for the Keystone Library project, you'll see there was a design that was applied, and you're able to go through and create that. But also, you may want to go through and adjust some of those wall types as you get ready to connect those walls up to your newly created roof.